Well, it's that time of year, the time where people start looking at their health and making decisions that they need to start a new eating plan.
And if you're getting started with keto, we'd love to help you. So today we're going to talk about 5 tips for getting started on keto, but none of them have anything to do with food. Hey, what's up, family? I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are
Two Crazy Ketos. And if you're new to our channel, welcome. Here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews. We talk about various keto topics, and every Monday we go live on Keto Beyond the Couch because life exists beyond the couch.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now, we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, in that way every single time we talk about keto, but don't talk about food, you'll be alerted to it.
So like we said, this is the time of year where people start looking at their health and going, I need to make some changes. And for many people, that change involves their eating lifestyle. And for some of those people, they're getting started on some form of what Dr. Berry calls the proper human diet, whether it be keto or ketovore or even carnivore. Some people are even doing the lion diet. But the thing is there are certain steps you need to take in order to be successful. And we were actually just recording our podcast for this very topic, and we decided this is too important to not have as a video. A lot of times we record our podcast and it's a podcast only. It never shows up on video, or if it does, it's 2 or 3 weeks later. But we feel like this is so important, we need to film a video version. So today, we're going to talk about 5 things, plus a couple of bonuses that you need to do to be successful on keto, and none of them involve food.
And I think it's important for us to talk about that because people are like, why didn't keto work for me? It's because they began keto in their pantry and in their refrigerator, and they didn't begin keto in a mindset position. They thought it was all about the food. But we've learned that making changes in your life, especially where your health is concerned, it's so much more about what is going on in your mind and the atmosphere that you're creating for a new lifestyle than it has to do with the food itself.
Now, I'm going to say this. These 5 things are more important than the food. These are the things that you need to do before you even start keto.
Yeah.
And if you have already started keto and you haven't done them, you need to stop and do these things. So we're going to go from 5 to 1 because number 1 is so important. I want it to be the very last thing you hear.
Exactly.
So number 5 kind of involves food.
It's not food.
It's not food. Number 5, you need to get some electrolytes.
You absolutely do. So all of the tips that we're going to share today have to do with keeping you on keto. If you don't do these things, there is a much better chance that you're going to jump off of keto, right? Because these things are very important. Electrolytes, getting in electrolytes are going to make the difference between you wanting to stay on keto and you wanting to jump off. Why? Because if you have an electrolyte imbalance, you're going to feel sick. And I'm sure that you've heard people talk about the keto flu. It's like headaches and you feel very like clammy. It's aggravating.
No energy.
You have no energy. You're very like tired and fatigued. And the problem is that you have to start this new lifestyle and go to work and raise children and have a day. And if you feel terrible, chances are you're going to be like, I have to abandon this plan because I can't work and feel like sweaty garbage. So it's very important for you to get your electrolytes in because that's going to give you the best shot of feeling decent the first 2 weeks of keto.
Now, What kind of electrolytes? What we're really looking at, the things you want to focus on is sodium, potassium, and magnesium. Sodium is super easy. Salt everything you eat.
With good salt.
Good quality salt, like Redmond real salt. There's a link for it down below. You get 15% off if you use the code 2krazyketos. Good salt. Salt everything. If you're afraid of salt, I highly recommend a book called The Salt Fix. I'll leave a link for it down below.
Yeah.
Amazing book. It really dispels a lot of the myths that we think about when we hear on salt. Things like salt's going to raise your blood pressure. It's going to cause you to retain water. Most of it isn't true. For most people, it's certainly not true. So sodium, potassium, and magnesium. Those are the things that you really need to focus on. Now, I'm going to be honest. We get sponsored by several companies. Redmond Relight or Redmond Salt sponsors us. Element sponsors us. Perfect Keto sponsors us. Keto Chow sponsors us. I'm going to say this. In order to be successful on keto, you don't need to buy anything other than meat and vegetables. You don't need to buy any products. If you've got some spare money and you want things to help you, some little treats, something like Keto Chow for when you're really busy, then buy it. But you don't need it. The one thing I'm going to tell you you need to buy is electrolytes. Now, you don't even need to buy a pre-made one. It's just easier. You can make your own. To me, a pain in the neck. You need a good quality salt like Redmond Real Salt. Then you need to go find a good source of magnesium, not garbage magnesium that your body can't absorb. And you need to find a good source of potassium, something like new salt or something like that. It's not the same as regular salt with sodium. New salt doesn't have sodium in it. And you could make your own. Or you can buy Redmond Relight, which is made by the Redmond Salt Company. It's got loads of potassium, sodium, magnesium in the right ratios. And it's got a good flavor to it. Put it in your water, drink it. That's how we do it. Element, another company that sponsors us. You can use that. We'll leave links for all these down below. If you just want something that nice and easy.
No taste.
I wouldn't say no taste.
Well,
doesn't have added flavor.
Yeah. Well,
right?
I mean, a pill has no taste.
You can get these, right? These are electrolyte tablets from Keto Chow. Again, it's one of the cheapest ways you're going to do it. They also have it in dropper form, something like that. And then these daily minerals.
That has a taste.
This has a taste.
Yeah.
Make no mistake about it. It's got a taste, but it's developed by Dr. Barry. By the way, Keto Chow is not sponsoring this video, okay? We use this every single day. You can use the link down below. You'll get 10% off your whole order. Dr. Barry developed these. This gives you all the minerals that you need. So if you're worried about iodine and all that stuff, it's all in here. It is the only thing we're going to tell you need to buy. Some form of electrolytes. That's the only thing you want to get. After that, all you really need to be successful is meat and maybe some vegetables. But that's enough about food. Let's move on to number 4. This is one of your favorites.
And that is get a journal. Okay, so just like if you don't have electrolytes, you're going to feel terrible and want to jump off. If you don't have a journal, if you are not writing down your feelings about this major transition in your life, then where are you going to put those emotions? You're going to put them in your mouth. That's where we've been doing, what we've been doing with it. We have been eating our emotions, right? We've been processing things with food, and usually it is comfort food. Things that we have relied on as comfort food in the past. It's going to be very starchy things that are very high in carbohydrates, things that are very sugary. That feels very natural. If you have a hard day at work, to eat your emotions. We're trying to get away from eating your emotions and put it onto paper and face your emotions, face what you're processing, put it down on paper so that you can walk away from it instead of having to eat it.
Pause.
Yes.
You don't have to put it on paper.
I like a paper journal. He does not.
This is a little controversy in our marriage, but okay. Yes, you want to journal. You want to write stuff down. When we coach our clients, one of the first things I ask people to do is journal things. Within our coaching app, we have a journal thing. Take pictures of your food, put a picture up, whether or not it's for me to see or not. How did you feel? What's going through your mind? How did you feel afterwards? Because a lot of times you're going to look back and go like, oh, I didn't realize that I was doing this with food. So it's really important to journal how you feel, and you're going to use this journal for everything. But it's wherever you are comfortable doing it. Rachel's happy having a paper journal. Me, I'm not carrying the paper journal everywhere I go. I put it on my phone. But wherever you are going to consistently do it, that's where you want to do it. There's no right or wrong place to do this.
And it's really nice to be able to get things down on paper, right? Or to write it down in your notes and like get it off your chest because you're able to be honest. That is really a key to any health momentum. We've got to get honest with ourselves. We need to be able to face where our problem areas are. And it's nice to be able to see on paper, hey, I was stressed today. Why? Because I had a bad interaction at work, or I'm working on some relationship issue. Instead of just thinking, I must be mad at the fact that I am having to give up my sugary treats and eat bacon and hamburgers. You know, if we don't get it out on paper or we don't write it down in some way, we can have a dishonest narrative going on where we're just like, oh, I'm just upset because I don't get to eat my potato chips. It's probably not the potato chips that are stressing you out. It's probably something else going on in your life. We're just answering that stress with a certain food. So we want to stop answering stress with food. Then we need to get out onto paper or in, some sort of electronic device what is authentically going on in our mind before, during, and after we eat.
And you can also journal positive things. It's really important to journal positive things. If the most you were able to do at the beginning of the week was walk from your door to the mailbox, and then the following week you can do that twice, you want to write that down because you want to be able to come back later on and be like, oh my gosh, look, 6 months ago, I could only walk 10 yards. Now I'm walking 5 miles.
Yeah.
The other thing that you're going to put into that journal is number 3. And this is the bane of my existence.
We do have a little motto here at Two Crazy Ketos, which is the scale is the devil.
And the mirror is a liar.
And we have had a very funny relationship with the scale over the years because
it's not funny. It's horrible.
It's horrible, but it's a little amusing at the fact that once we passed a certain weight, we didn't want to weigh. There was no way that I wanted to know. In fact, I couldn't tell you and Joe couldn't tell you what exactly was our starting weight on keto. Why? Because after a certain point, we didn't want to know exactly the moment where we passed 300 on that scale.
I've talked about this before. My last known weight was 285 pounds before starting keto. The only thing is, when I stepped on that scale at 285, I can tell you, I was a size 40 pants. I was a double extra large, an extra large, but probably should have been wearing a double extra large shirt. I was a sausage. When I started keto, I was in a 44, almost 46 pants, and in a triple extra large, I couldn't sausage myself into a double extra large.
Yeah.
There's more than 15 pounds there.
But we weren't finding it.
But I had no desire to see that scale say 300. So it's kind of funny that I spent more than a year never getting on a scale, and now I want to get on a scale 5 times a day, including before and after I go to the restroom. I can't be the only one who does that.
Right. So the problem is that we go from this negative relationship with the scale, whereas ignorance is bliss. I do not want to know how much I weigh. Then you start keto and you start having success. You are going to lose weight. And then all of a sudden we switch from never dealing with the scale, never utilizing that tool, to that being our only tool for measuring success.
Now, I have my theory on why we want to live on the scale now, but in order to hear that theory, you're going to have to go over and listen to the podcast, because our podcasts are about 45 minutes long, and we're trying to not make this a 45-minute video. So, with all of that being said, and now you know we hate the scale, Step number 3 is you need to weigh.
Yeah. But then you need to plan to weigh no more
One time a week.
once a week. And this is something that we haven't talked about in previous years, but here we are in year 5. Like, we really want you to not have a bad relationship with the scale. We want you to put that tool in its proper place. So weigh in, find out how much you weigh, but then plan to weigh no more than once a week.
Here's the thing. The scale is a tool, but it's not the only tool on your weight loss journey. If you want to build a house, you can't just use a hammer. You need a hammer, and you need nails, and you need a saw, and you need a level.
Lots of tools.
You need some drills. You need a lot of things. You can't build a house with one tool. That scale only gives you one dimension, one issue. But like a lot of other things, what is going on? Is it your time of the month, ladies? Did you have something that caused some inflammation a couple of days ago? Did you take a pill like Tylenol? All of that could literally cause you to gain 5 pounds of water overnight.
Yeah.
And if you're getting on that scale every single day, you're going to freak out.
Right.
So once a week, once every other week, once a month, and then you're going to look at the chart that you're going to put in your journal of, I weighed this here and this here and this here. And then you're going to use that. And it's so long as it's staying flat or going down, depending on where you want, you're good. When it starts going up consistently, then we have an issue. We need to reevaluate things. Now, there are better ways to measure what's going on. But before we get into number 2 and number 1, I do want to invite you, if you are new here, make sure you head down below. You hit that subscribe button. You hit the little bell buttons that you're notified every time we upload new videos. Because we upload 5 new videos every week, including 2 live streams.
Right. So there's going to be lots to watch.
And along with that, you want to make sure you go join our Facebook family group and our Mighty Networks group. Both are free. There's links down below. If you want to support us on our mission, you can support us through Mighty Networks, but there is a complete free area in there. Go join that. And also follow our podcast. We upload a new podcast every single week because all of these things are going to help you along in your journey. So if we're only going to weigh once a week, there are better ways. Like I said, multiple tools in our toolbox. And this is a fun one because I'm going to give you permission to go shopping. And you can go shopping in one of 2 places. The first place is at a store. Or the second place is the place that I know a lot of us either have now or we've had in the past. And that is that section in the back of the closet that has clothes that no longer fit because we gained too much weight. You know, the section where either you bought it and said, these are my gold pants, but I never got in them, or you fit in them and then you gained a couple of pounds and you said, one day I'm going to get back in them, and you shoved them into the back of the closet. Those, you know what clothes we're talking about, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We want to go and find an outfit that is either A, too small, you know, the pants that we had to take a running leap off of the bed and jump into.
My pole vaulting pants.
Or something that is super snuggly where you can button it, but you're like, oh, I can't breathe now. Those are what you want to go find.
Yeah, you want to pick an outfit that fits very snug right now. And that's going to be your photo outfit for the year. And it is the only outfit that we're going to advise that you keep for the entire year while you lose weight. In the past, we kept all the clothes. We kept the clothes that we couldn't wear anymore. We kept the clothes that we currently wear. And then we kept these like backup wardrobe clothes.
Fat clothes.
Fat clothes for when the things would unravel and then now I need a pair of pants to wear to work. So in the past, we would hold on to everything. This year, I don't want you holding on to everything. If you go into your closet and there's a whole bunch of clothes that are loose, go ahead and get rid of those clothes. And by getting rid of it, I mean you can donate them Donate them to a thrift store, donate them to some sort of like a drive, clothing drive where you can help other people, but it is not helping you to hold on to clothes that are too big forever. Like you're going to fail like you've always failed in the past. And so I have to keep a bunch of big clothes that I really can't wear anymore. We don't want to do that. You want to keep one outfit that fits snug right now. And every single week, I want you to take pictures and I want you to take measurements of yourself. And that's really going to be a better testimony of like what is happening in your body.
Just to sum it all up, you're going to go shopping in your closet. You're going to find that one outfit. Then you're going to do a closet purge. If it's too big, we dump it. If it's too small, put it into a section of your closet as these are my goal clothes. And then you have what you wear now. As you lose weight and what you wear now is too big, dump it.
Yeah.
This is the time where you want to burn a bridge. We always say don't burn your bridges, right? You want to burn your bridges here. Literally, burn your bridges. Why? If you have something that gets too big, it's much easier as you put the weight back on for some reason. Maybe you go hog wild with something like a whole can of Happy whipping cream the day before New Year's Eve. I don't know who would have possibly done that, but anyway, you don't want to have that fallback. I can tell you from personal experience where I would save my clothes. But when you get rid of them and things start getting tighter, you have two options at that point. Either A, go spend more money on clothes, or B, tighten up the reins. And we want you to tighten up the reins.
Well, also, I don't want you looking in the closet and thinking like, wow, I had a great day today. But then seeing those clothes that are too big and you're thinking to yourself, but don't get too excited, Rachel, because probably your success is fleeting. I don't want you to have that attitude. We are not going back this year. This year, you're moving forward and you're going to maintain the success that you're gaining.
Now, we have a bonus one. The bonus one is actually, should be the first step to the next video, which is going to come out tomorrow. And that's 5 things you need to do with food to get started. But I know a lot of you are like, I just got started on keto and I need to know about food. So where do I start? So we're going to give you one thing about food, and this is supposed to be the bonus, which normally comes at the end of the list. But number one is so important. We're going to give it to you now because, again, I want number one to be the last thing that you hear. So here's the bonus one. If you're just getting started on keto, or if you've been away from keto for a while and you're coming back and you need to know, I need to know what to eat, how much to eat. Here is the short, sweet, simple answer that is going to help you be successful. For the first 2 weeks, all we want you to do is don't eat carbohydrates.
Right.
No pasta, no grains, no sugar, no anything, starches, and zero fruit, even if it's considered a keto-friendly fruit. No strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, anything like that for the first 2 weeks. How much food should you eat?
You should eat as much meat as you want and green vegetables if you're really into vegetables and you want some vegetables until you are comfortably full. Keeping your carbohydrates as low as humanly possible. It is enough of a full-time job for the first 2 weeks for you to just cut out the starches, cut out the sugar in your life. That is enough. Getting rid of rice and pasta and grains and all the potatoes, all of that is hard enough to do. As you're transitioning from being a carbohydrate-fueled person to a fat-fueled person, that is enough to concentrate on. Just get full every single time that you eat, full of meat and some vegetables, green vegetables if you like them.
Yeah, so we're not counting anything other than carbohydrates, which you shouldn't have to count carbohydrates because if you're only eating meat and some green leafy vegetables, you're not going to be more than 5 to 10 total carbohydrates, maybe 15 a day anyway. We're not eating any pasta, rice, grain, sugar. We're not intermittent fasting. We're not tracking macros. We're literally just eating as much as we want for the first 2 weeks of just that stuff. Okay, now that we've talked about all of this food on a video that's not supposed to be about food,
right.
Let's talk about number one, because number one is the most important thing on this list. Honestly, I'm going to tell you this. without number one, you're not going to be successful.
No.
If you don't do number one, you're going to fail on your keto journey for long-term health. Not you might fail, not there's a possibility you fail. You will fail to do keto long-term for not just weight loss, but health improvement. You have to do number one. So much so that number one is the whole reason the Two Crazy Ketos exist. Because number one is...
join a community. You need community. We have tried countless times, and maybe you have too, to start a diet, to start a new plan for better health by yourself. You're doing it on your own. You figure, man, I got heavy and unhealthy in isolation. Maybe you're like me, eating Reese's peanut butter cups on the bathroom floor with the door locked, and your whole family doesn't even know how bad it has gotten in your life. You have spiraled out of control, and you're thinking to yourself, I am embarrassed. I don't want to put myself out there. Maybe you haven't had a lot of friends growing up. We certainly didn't have a bunch of friends growing up. We have been morbidly obese our entire life. Putting yourself out there is hard, and thinking to yourself, join a community. I'm afraid to put myself out there. Maybe I should lose some weight first and then I will get involved in community. Do not do that. Do not wait. Begin today. Before you buy your first package of bacon, before you find that first burger patty, you need to join a community. Now, of course, we're going to be a little biased. I'm going to tell you to join.
There's only one community to join.
The Two Crazy Ketos family. We are on Facebook. Join our mighty networks. There are people like you who are getting started on keto, and there are people like us who've been keto for a while. It can help you avoid a bunch of pitfalls because it is not easy. Not only is it not easy to change what you're doing to decide to get healthy, but I'm going to tell you, there are a bunch of people in your neighborhood, at your work, at your kid's school, at the doctor's office, who are not going to celebrate the way that you're going to start eating. They don't eat the way that you do. And you need other people in your life who get you.
Bottom line is, a lot of people are not going to believe this, but we're both introverts.
Yeah.
I'm a really bad introvert. I mean,
I'm
keto has helped.
Extroverted introvert.
Our community probably inspires us more than it's ever going to inspire you.
Yeah.
We talk about all the time, like people put up things and we're like, well, if they're doing it, I can do it. And we've been eating keto carnivore for 5 and 6 years. But there's something about being around a group of like-minded people, even if it's over the internet, that helps you. When you're going to pick up that bowl of ice cream at 2 o'clock in the morning, there is somebody in our Mighty Networks group in the live chat right there that if you go in there and say, hey, I'm about to do this, they're going to be there to talk you off the ledge. There is somebody that is putting up a picture going, hey, for the first time in my life, I've gone 24 hours without sugar. There's somebody in there going, hey, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. I'm a type 2 diabetic. Does anybody else relate? There's somebody there that's going to be able to help you. It's super important to be in community because when we got started on keto, and this is the whole reason we made this our focus as a channel, we had nobody.
Right.
We had our friends and our family saying, you're going to die, right? You're going to get like high blood pressure and you're going to have a heart attack. And even if you don't, as soon as you stop, you're going to gain it all back. So don't bother. That's not true. Like Rachel said, it's hard enough with everybody else who's following the standard American diet. You need people to help you and encourage you. And that's why we have our Facebook family group. That's why I'm really partial to our Mighty Networks group because there's not commercials in there. There's not ads in there. But go into these communities. If you don't like my ugly face or my horrible voice, find another one.
Yeah.
I don't care whose community you join.
Just join one.
But get into a community where there's no pressure, where they're not trying to tell you it's my way or the highway. Don't get in a community where people are judging you and there's keto police saying that, listen, you can't have coffee if you're a carnivore. Get in some place that's going to love on you, that's going to encourage you and it's going to help you along your journey. Now, with all that being said, once again, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. The next part in this series will be coming out, and you'll want to make sure that you're alerted to when it comes out. If you like seeing videos like this, take a look at some of the videos we have linked right over there. Also, make sure you take a look at our most recent video that I'm going to put right over here.
But whether you head this way or you head this way, don't forget to head this way. Subscribe to our channel and click the little bell icon, and that way every single time we upload a new video, you'll be alerted to it.
Till next time.
Bye.